with controversy and more. This is Pro Wrestling Central. My name is John, and you're watching the Wrestling Report. Speaking about Chris Jericho potentially returning to WWE after his AEW deal expires this year, Mark Henry told Inside the Ring, Chris Jericho should be high up in WWE creative. He is probably the most versatile, innovative guy that has wrestled in the last 20 years. Wow. He's recreated himself so many times and made so much money that it's ridiculous. People respect him and they value his opinion. Chris could walk into the WWE writer room and fit right in because he's not a tyrant. He's gonna ask you the question, well, why would he do that? And then say, well, I think that he can do this and still get away with this. Chris will dissect stuff and make stuff great. That's what he's done his whole career, not just for himself, but for others. And if you can get Chris in the office, do it in a heartbeat. Pay the man whatever you want. He's going to elevate the talent. They have all of these young people coming up. You see every now and then, oh, this person got moved up to the SmackDown roster, or this person. And you're going to need other brain trust. You have to have it. Always get the guy that's kind of the squeaky wheel. And Chris is the squeaky wheel. The squeaky wheel gets the oil, baby. Talking about how close they came to signing with WWE in the past, Matt Jackson of the Young Bucks told Adam's Apple, pretty close. Like, yeah, we were almost going to sign the contract. I mean, there was never an actual physical contract, but we were negotiating. Nick Jackson then added that WWE had tried to bring the team in multiple times, not even at that time, but many times before in our career almost. Matt then noted, there's been a couple, but in 2019 was probably the closest. Asked why WWE was so interested in signing them, Matt replied, we had a groundswell at the time, with stuff we were doing in Japan and on the indies. Taking to Instagram, Becky Lynch revealed that Raw general manager Adam Pearce trolled her with a phone number that led to Rick Astley's Never Gonna Give You Up playing. Lynch writes, Adam, paranoid Pearce, worst GM in the history of the WWE, knows I have a great case against him. Moody Maxine, an absolute joke AJ. Instead of taking accountability, he sends me a fake number? Is this the type of leadership the WWE Universe wants running Monday Night Raw? I insist you return my phone calls immediately, or I'll have no choice but to demand your removal as general manager. A fan by the name of Chris Horror went to the Big Event NY show and took pictures with AJ Lee. Those photos were then used with AI to make it look like the two had kissed. AJ Lee saw this online and claimed it was inappropriate as well as harassment and asked for the photos to be deleted. Now, the fan in question has been banned from any future Big Event NY gatherings. Mentioning how a podcast caused problems at home for an indie wrestler, Ringside News wrote that controversies can pop up all over the pro wrestling world, and they are certainly not limited to WWE and AEW. The indie wrestling scene has a lot of interesting characters, and a few of those stories have been quite scandalous. This is no different. The Ringside Rivalries podcast recently featured an interview that they aren't backing down from, but it still caused a lot of trouble. Indie wrestling Bull Bronson was their guest, and the line of questioning was quite out of line the way he saw things. His wife agreed, and this caused a lot of issues for him at home. Bull Bronson jumped on Facebook to address this podcast appearance. He stated that the questions that he was asked were not okay, as they were quite sexual in nature. After the fact, he realizes that he should have just hung up the call to end things, but he kept going. Now he is speaking out about what happened. I did a podcast podcast with these two girls, mother-daughter combo. You probably know who I'm talking about. Before the podcast, I told them that they can keep their sexual comments off the air because I'm a married man and people know me and my wife are having problems. That's not the point. I told her that I was married and I didn't want her talking to me like that, and she went on there and talked to me just disrespectfully and perverted and gross the whole time. She wants to say it's a character, but she was just belligerent about the sexual references in the she said to me. I should have told her to F off and hang up on that interview, but I stayed professional and placated and F it, trying to do business, but it wasn't business. F it, it was a straight up sexual harassment. Bull Bronson went on to say that my wife watched it and she politely contacted her and asked her to take it down. My wife didn't say anything bad to her where she said she felt disrespected. The response she got was BS. In a separate post, Bull Bronson also stated, if a man spoke to a woman wrestler the way I was spoken to after asking her to not talk like that numerous times, the man would be accused of sexual harassment. Should I have stopped her and quit the call? Yes, but I was uncomfortable and trying to keep professional with Tori, who, by the way, was professional and also tried to get her mom to stop numerous times. Before I went on the podcast and while we were live, I asked her to not speak like that because I'm married and she refused. I should have held my ground and I didn't. I'll regret that forever. That being said, the Sloans are no longer welcome at Mayhem Pro or any other show I'm on, whether the promoter likes it or not. I will not be friendly or professional from here on out. Someone commented on that post to say, sadly, not the first time they've done BS to good people, but as was stated before me, you deserve better. Others have reached out to support Bronson during this time. However, there are two sides to this story. Tori Sloan of the Ringside Rivalries podcast, who is the daughter in the duo, responded to this controversy on Facebook Live. She didn't show any remorse at all for the podcast going this way. In fact, it seems like she had a great time upsetting Bull Bronson and his wife. I am sick and tired of seeing people pushing off this and that. I know that you have seen the video from Bull Bronson where he talked about doing the podcast with us, Carnage Chronicles, on Monday on Ringside Rivalries, and he is going on and on about the disrespect. I don't know what the F that is all about. You came on willing talking to me and I sent you the link. I have screenshots galore and I will be releasing those because of the fact that you sent a message talking about, oh yeah, me and Brian need to come and kick it with y'all. If all goes well, I'll be moved out by the end of the year. Things aren't going well with me and the wife, you know? All things go well, you should be out, so you should be happy there. She went on to say that Bull Bronson seemed fine with the topics of the previous podcasts where they were very edgy. It was also complained that screenshots will be released to back up their stories. She claims that these screenshots will prove that Bull Bronson knew about the flirtatious nature of their show, and he also liked what they brought to the table. Veronica chimed in while in the background to proclaim that wives get mad at her on a daily basis. To that, Tori confirmed this as she wrapped up her live video. You're getting mad about a comment. When do you realize how many people message Veronica, her mother, message us? You're not the only one. She's not the only wife who's got mad and pissed off. Tori went on to reiterate that the interview was kayfabe and now Bull Bronson is attacking her mother, Veronica. The podcast was taken down out of respect for Bronson's wife, but it doesn't seem that the controversy is over yet. These two sides certainly don't seem happy with each other. With it previously reported that Andrade walked out on a Crash Lucha Libre event in Mexico, it was said that he might have been unhappy after issues backstage. Carl Anderson brought up the situation, saying on his Talkin' Shop podcast, there were reports that Andrade, the Crash Lucha Libre champion, was there and left in a heap and was angry and got in trouble and left. I'm here to say that I was there with Andrade, side by side with him, doing the signing with the fans. Lots of incredible fans in Tijuana. I'm telling you, it was so unbelievable to see all the fans. Andrade was right beside me and the big LG, a friend of mine, someone I've known for a long time. With that said, there were reports that he left and he was angry. Not true. Signing was finished. He went backstage, we went backstage. He watched us win the Tijuana Crash Lucha Libre Tag Team Championships. He watched the whole show. We left before Andrade left. As soon as our match was finished, which was the semi-main event, my friend Tejano was in the main event. With that said, Andrade did not leave in a heap. He didn't leave angry. He didn't leave in trouble. He didn't leave mad. Nothing. He was there the whole show. He was backstage, laughing with people, talking with people, and even hugged us after we won the Crash Lucha Libre Tag Team Championships. Explaining how a man at an airport bought a plane ticket just to record her, Saraya noted on her Rule Breakers podcast, "It's not okay to follow me like wherever I go. Like, it's not okay. There should be a line. Yes, you can be a fan, but you should make us feel safe in the process." There was a video recently that was on TikTok of someone following me from my gate. They bought a ticket to get past security to film me coming off the plane from a distance. And that makes me feel so uncomfortable too, so please don't do that. I'm cool. I will take a picture with anybody at any time, but do not do it where you're making me feel unsafe. That makes me feel unsafe. My niece, she was like, "Auntie Rhea, there's this video of this guy that's following you around." She was scared for me, and she's so young, and I was just like, "It's okay. I'm safe." I just want to put that little PSA out there. Do not follow me from a little bit far away filming me for a good 40 to 45 minutes. Just come up to me. I'm chill. I promise. And this was your pro wrestling news update. I hope you're all having a great day. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see y'all later.